Welcome back. This is the second hour of the show, Hope at Dawn, right here at Hope TV, where you look and you live. And thank you so very much. I know that amazing break, we had some fantastic music. Director leo anacheza kiyeye. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ni madam. Si madam. Oh, it's Mr. Director. Yeah, Mr. Director, thank you for that amazing break as well. Told you we are back. We'll be having our segment of the day, the one day at a time segment. And this is just a platform to give people a platform to share God's goodness in their lives and how they are able to carry one day at a time. And I love today's guest because for her, she says, she's not defined by her disability. And I like that because, and in line with our devotion as well, what defines you? Where do you get your identity? And so for her, she says, my disability, it does not define who I am. And that is what we are having this morning. That's the conversation we are having this morning. Hope TV Kenya across all our social media platforms. And also you can get us live and also share the link on our YouTube channel because we are also live on YouTube. So keep them coming, keep those questions coming, keep the encouragement coming as well on WhatsApp. Get us on 0708 222 323. Allow me to welcome today's guest. Her name is Jacinta. Good morning, Jacinta.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to see you.
Thank me too.
You're well?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How is life?
Life is good.
Life's good.
When you have God.
Yeah, amen. Very important.
And
when you have
positive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Karibu sana to Hope TV.
Asante.
And thank you for accepting this invitation. We usually say, being it's during the week and then ni asubuhi. So it can be tricky. Yeah, but thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Karibu sana.
And thank you for hosting me.
Karibu sana. We are looking forward to hearing this inspiring story that you have. But before then, just a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. My name is Jacinta Odima.
Yeah.
I'm a woman with disability.
Yes.
Yes, and I just love myself.
Yeah.
And I'm also a mother of one handsome boy.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Karibu sana, tutakujua zaidi tukiendelea na hii conversation. And let's go back to when you were born. How was life, growing up?
Growing up, I was born in Bahati, but I did not live in Bahati. I lived in a village called Ngando.
I know the place.
Dagoretti South.
Yes.
Yes, that is where I live.
Pale kona hapo hivyo.
Hapo kona ukiingia huko ndani, there's a church called Sacred Heart. All opposite your side ingine.
Yes.
That's where I grew up. We came there when I was around 7 years.
Yes.
So I grew up in Ngando. I went to school in Ngando. Yes. So that was where my life, I can say I saw my life beginning from there.
Yeah.
And then I come from a family of 8.
8.
Yes. I'm the fourth born.
The middle child. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the fourth born. And then when I was growing up, I was just good like any other child.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my life, when it comes to education, it's a funny one.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it recently. I never went to pre-unit.
I remember pre-unit.
I never went
You never went to pre-unit?
Yes, I went to nursery school. But I did not finish nursery school.
Yes.
And then from nursery, I went directly to class 1. So hizi tunaita grade 1.
Grade 1, yes.
So I went to class 1.
Yeah.
So the reason as to why I learned like that is because I was not born in a well-off family. Yes, I was born in a family where we lived in a self-confused house.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-confused one. Now tuko wanane.
Mko 8.
Tuko 8.
Yeah.
So most of the time it is my mom who was our breadwinner. So I normally tell people my life is a segmented one. If you talk about alcoholic, I'm there because my dad was alcoholic. Yeah. So if you talk about parents struggling to make sure that their children have gone to school, I'm there because my mom, she's the one who was taking care of us most of the time, and she was the one who was doing everything, and then that's how I grew up. And then my dad, he was there, lakini alikuwa anakunywa sana. And when you are born in a family whereby one parent is drunkard and you find the the responsibility is being burdened to one.
Yeah.
So most of us were looking at our mother, but she was very, very supportive.
Yeah.
And there's no any day we had her complaining.
Ah.
So when you talk about parents, when you talk about violence, I'm there also. So my dad was very violent.
Yeah.
So many a times we could sleep outside. When he comes drunkard, automatically utalala kwa mvua. Na ujui kama utamuka asubuhi.
Yeah.
And remember, you're supposed to go to school as well.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for him to sleep. Then you do your homework. Then you wake up in the morning and go to school.
Yeah.
So that is how we grew up in that place. And it was, I can say from the younger age to 11, I was okay. And then now when the school that I was, it was called Dagoretti Corner, a private school. So unajua hizi mashule za mtaa. That's where I learned.
Yeah.
But academics, it was good. I involved myself in so many things.
Yeah.
I was in extracurricular, niko games, niko
Yeah.
kila mahali. And then through that, I came to like athletics.
Ah.
So when we were going for cross country,
You are there.
I was there. When we were going for music festival,
Yes.
I was there.
Eish.
So during that time,
Yeah.
now when we were going for cross country, but then it was a must from class 5 up to 8, ilikuwa lazima uende cross country. You go, hata ukiwapata kwa barabara, you join them, you go, you run, alafu you come back, unaingia kwa darasa.
Yeah.
So I got an accident when I was going for cross country in 1995.
Wow. Yeah.
So that one changed everything.
Everything.
So from there now, after that, I think I found myself in Kenyatta Hospital, and I did not know why I was there.
Yeah.
But I was being told by another doctor, I can't remember her. She was called Mrs. Mora. I don't know whether she's still there.
Yeah.
She's the one who was giving me the story. Now you came here, and you stayed. I did not know where I was up to some days.
Yeah.
Because I was administered there for 2.5 months.
Wow, 2.5 months.
Yes.
Yeah, at Kenyatta.
At Kenyatta.
Yes.
It was not the Kenyatta we know now, by then. So in 1995, life changed. Now from the other me, and then now me now.
Yeah.
So for me, disability, I acquired it.
Yeah.
When I was through a road accident,
Yeah.
when I was going for cross country.
Do you remember that road accident? What really happened? Do you remember?
What I know, I
Yeah.
had already crossed the road, and then gari kanigonga na nyuma. At
Yeah.
showground when I was going. Hapo kwa showground, when we were
Yes.
almost to Roaland, hapo ndio gari linigongea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up to there, nikajipata hosi, and then life changed.
Yeah.
Yes, life changed. So after 2.5 months, I came back home.
Yeah.
I was just okay, but now my legs started misbehaving. So whenever I stepped down, I was seeing wounds. So bora tu megongwa na kitu inakuwa kidonda. And it couldn't heal. Now, I used to think that when you involved in a road accident, unapona na unapona kabisa. But mine didn't.
Okay.
So it was another journey. So I used to say the hospital is another home for me.
Because you would frequent the hospital.
Hata naweza sema, I don't know, I can't remember staying in school the whole time. Most of the time I could spend in hospital.
Yeah.
Because after Kenyatta, I've gone to all the hospitals in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And then I can remember the last one was Fatima Hospital in Kiserian, where the doctor said, we cannot handle this. We have to take you now to Kijabe Hospital. So in Kijabe Hospital, that is when they did the first surgery. And this one was the fourth one, because in Kenyatta they did 3.
Yeah.
Because in Kenyatta they did 3. The first one, I don't know, was to clean the wounds. And then the next one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then the third one, now they did skin grafting. I have a very big scar here that was put now in this side.
Okay.
Yes, so that one was done in Kenyatta. And then now when I went to Kijabe Hospital, the first one, they fixed I could put my hands like this, and I could see my hands could reach here. At the back of my leg.
Yeah.
So by then they fixed, they covered the wound, which I thought it was okay, but I stayed for some years, not for long. Then I went back again. So when I went back, they started now chopping off my toes. They removed the first one,
Yeah.
the second, and the third one. So when they were going to do the fourth one, I decided to ask the doctor, why are you chopping my toes and you're not telling me?
Yeah.
Like, what could be the problem?
And then you are still a young girl.
Yes. So I was there, Pana, because by that time I think I was in class 6, 7. Like I was forced to repeat one of the classes.
Yeah.
I was in 5, class 5, then class 6, because there's a term I did not finish. So I just told Mwalimu, let me repeat 6 so that I can be able to cover up with the rest.
Yeah.
Putting in mind, it is not my parents who are paying the school fees
No.
by then. I had a sponsor. So I have to make sure my performance is also...
Impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go beyond, to look beyond myself
Yeah.
and the academics. And also by that time, looking at the way our family was, you have to think beyond your nose, because you see, mom is the one who's in charge of everything. Yes, dad is helping, but not so much. And then you find you yourself now, you've become medical part.
Yeah.
There's school, there's everything. So you cannot handle both things. So I ended up even doing, unaona hizi toothpick. Nilikuwa nachonga hizo, and then we sell for, one was going for 20 shillings. So that one, to be able now to cater for my medication and school and all that, which was not enough. So down there's a lady who came, the one who was training me how to chop them, is the one who came and told me that there's an organization in Marist. It was called Marist International. Right now it is Marist International, but then it was just Marist.
Yeah.
So there were brothers there who were educating girls. So I joined, she took me there, and they're the one who also took me to the hospital. And it was not an easy thing because I was walking with wounds in my legs.
Yeah.
So I used to wear sandals, and you know, now the leg was already weak. So I was tying unafunga na kakamba so that you're able to walk. But when I come, I have to lay down and make sure I dress the wounds again. So that's how I learned how to do most of the things on my own.
Yeah.
But what I thank God mostly, I had a very supportive family. My mom, my brothers, especially my elder brother. Hiyo mtu ni mkali lakini
yeah.
he was very good. And up to now I can say he has been there for us.
Yeah.
Being dad is there, but he was also like a father to us.
He stepped in.
He stepped in, more of a support, and even the family, the wife and everybody. So me, I can say when it comes to the issue of the family discriminating someone because you have disability, I've not gone through that.
Yeah.
And I think I found it from outside.
Yeah.
So when I joined, when the married people took me to hospital, I told them also, I don't have school fees. So they're the one who again took me to school from class 6 to 8. And then later on, something happened in between. The sponsor who was taking us to school, some girls, I think 2 girls from Nakuru, became pregnant when I just finished class 8. So he said he's not going to educate any lady, any girls again. So I also had again another life to work to make sure now I go to
high school.
In between the line, I also got another girl, whom I can't even remember her name.
Yeah.
She told me, if you go this way, you will get this person who will take you to school. So that is where I ended up getting to another father again, called Father Tom and Father Alex. But Alex is late. Father Tom is still there, but he's in Singida now.
Yeah.
And so Father Tom was more of a father to me. So he used to counsel me. He used to tell me, this is how life is. When you go to school, this is what you're supposed to do, and that is how you're supposed to be. And don't give up.
Yeah.
So I had people who were mentoring me and who were telling me, this is go this. So Father Tom took me to school from class 8 up to college.
Wow.
So he took me up to college together with support also Alex. But Tom was always there for me.
Yeah.
And then when Alex passed on, we had Father Luke and Father Melchior. So they are the ones who were really supporting me. So Father Tom made sure that I went to school until I finished.
Yeah.
Even the pocket money that I was being given, He could provide even the shopping that he used to.
Yeah.
He could provide. So since mom was not financially stable, I ended up most of my shopping. Hiyo pesa ya shopping ilikuwa inatumika fare yake ya kurudi home. And sometimes he could come to school and we could say, I don't know whether she slept in the house, whether she's okay. So at times I used to tell her, I don't need to come to school.
You're okay.
I'm fine.
Even if you don't come.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But she used to come.
Yeah.
She could come even when you don't expect her.
The love of a mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just see her coming. So
Yeah.
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 But also in school, I had good teachers. I think in every school that I went, when I was in primary school, there was a teacher who was called Mrs. Chaka. She was teaching. She was our Kiswahili teacher.
Yeah.
Lakini alikuwa ananichapa. She used to beat me because I used to fail Kiswahili.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Hiyo si yangu.
Imekataa.
Ilikataa.
Yeah, yeah.
Kuja na meli.
Yeah.
So she used to say, how come you're failing Kiswahili and your mom is selling fish? So I used to wonder, what is the connection between samaki na Kiswahili? Yeah, so you cannot pass all the subjects and fail my subject.
Yeah.
She had to come even where my mom was.
Wow.
She came.
She was that concerned.
Hakikishe tu ni ukweli unakulanga samaki na mbona unaanguka subject yangu. Yeah. So for me, my life, when I did not, my mom normally say sinanga budget yake ya shule. So she never paid my school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was there for me. Yeah. So when it comes to now disability part of it.
Yeah. Especially the point I remember you were saying when they were chopping the toes. And you asked, so the first one goes, the second one goes, the third one goes, and then you're like, I need to talk to this doctor. And you said you asked the doctor why they were doing that. Take us through that conversation.
Yeah, so that one, I came, and then he was called Dr. Bransford. So I told him what is the reason. So I was taken through an assessment. They did an assessment that took almost an hour so that they get to know where the problem is. So by that time, they found out that one of the red cells was dead already, was not functioning, and the leg has already become paralyzed. It is only some part, if I can remember here, was the only place I could feel. The rest I couldn't completely.
Yeah.
So after that, the doctor gave me 3 options. The first one is to raise. By that time, I was using a caliper. Those shoes, by then, but we used to use a caliper. So they wanted to raise the sole of the caliper, of which he said it is not very permanent, but you still have the same problem. And then the other option was again to put it a little bit higher, of which he said it could not have helped so much. But the last and the best option was amputation.
Last but the best.
The last.
You're losing your leg.
Yes. Now I had no otherwise. So that one was the last option and the best option. So I was looking at it like, so how?
Yeah.
But I saw it coming.
Yeah.
When I was in Form 2, I went through like a continuous from hospital. I used to go to Kijabe Hospital, ikifuatana, because the leg, I can say it made me now for the doctor to choose which school I'm supposed to go to.
Yeah.
And then also I couldn't stay in a cold place.
Yeah, it would affect
my school. So by that time I was in St. Tito in Gashie, very cold. So my mom really tried to make sure that I get a better school, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So when I came back from school, I told her I'll do it myself. So I didn't tell her where I was going. I went to Nyayo House. And Nyayo House, I used to fear maybe it's only parents who are supposed to go there.
To go to Nyayo House.
But I went.
Yes.
And when I went, I met a lady in charge of the Ministry of Education. But then she was called Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I cannot forget her name. I told her, daktari amesema nitolewe ile shule niko. And then she asked me why. I told her I have an issue, my leg have a problem. And because of cold, I cannot
Yeah.
survive
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah.
So the only school that was available by then was Naivasha Girls. And I told her that one, now you are killing me
Yeah.
completely. Then she said, okay, which school now? So I still came to another school in Ukambani, but then it was called Kwangi High School.
Yeah.
And then the name changed to Father Hiran High School. I did not know where it was.
No.
But she told me, go and call your mom. I'll give you a school. That is when I went and called mom. We went to Nyayo House again, and we got the school now.
Yeah. Wow.
There I survived. But now the place was very far
Oh, yeah.
from the main road.
Yeah. Oh, from the main road.
Hey, ilikuwa mbali and very dusty.
Yeah.
And I was still using the crutches. And I was having the plaster, the white one,
Yeah.
the Itango cast. So I had it. It was very far. And now my mom used to tell me, so you know you are going to, I'm going to leave you in school, and me, I'm going to come home, and you're walking slowly. So you can imagine, you're telling me I'm walking slowly and I'm using the crutches. I cannot run using the crutches. So I used to wait for her to walk for some distance. Namwangalia tu hivi. And then when she arrived somewhere, turn, ananipata nimesimama.
Yeah.
And then she said, now you've decided not to speak to me.
Yeah.
And then then she comes, she waits for me. So I told her, just go. I'll wait, you'll find me, I'll find you in school. Then when we are done, we'll just go home.
Yeah.
So I never had time to enjoy my social life
No.
when I was by that time.
Yeah.
So life changed, and I went from there, amputation.
Yeah.
So I was given a week.
Before you continue there, so the accident happened in 95.
95.
In class 6.
5.
Class 5.
Yes.
So I hear you mention high school, the plaster and all. So you still, the amputation has not happened yet.
Has not happened.
So all these years.
Yes.
Yeah. So indeed, it was in and out of hospital for those.
Yes.
Wow, for those years.
Yes.
So class 5,
Class
6,
5, 6, 7, 8.
then 8.
From
so
1.
4 years
from
in.
2.
From 2.
Surely.
7 years.
Yes.
In and out of hospital.
In and out of hospital.
Before you even go to the amputation, how was it for you, and especially being a young girl? How are you handling? How are you coping with this situation?
No, it was not easy per se,
Yeah.
because you find that so many things I could not have done. Coming into terms now, this is me. The accident has happened, and I think I concentrated more on the hospital part because I had not accepted the reality that I was involved in a road accident now, and this is now my life, and I have to live with my life that way.
And you were very engaged in school.
Yes.
Education, co-curricular, sports, music, and all.
Hizo zilisha zote.
So zote,
They
all of
went,
a sudden now it's a new you.
It's a new me now. So there is no games.
Yeah.
There is no Izo music festival. So I became on a watch.
Yeah.
Now I used to hear. But now I think the best thing that happened was I was forced to transfer from the school where I got the accident. So I went from Dagoretti now to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So in St. Mary's, mostly I did not even want to hear about sports and all that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I did again, I was an artist. So I used to draw properly. I used to draw, and I was also a poet. So I used to do poetry.
Yeah.
So it didn't affect. But now what came into the reality was now when you're walking, people could stare at you. And when you are late, you cannot run.
Yeah.
So we used to have our head teacher. He was called Mr. and Mrs. Alikuwa anaitwa QB. That was his car. Alikuwa anaitwa Mrs. Kibadi. So anytime people will see her, the car, unakimbia nika ujue utafika aje kwa class. You know when you see them. So I never used to run. I never used to. So there's a day I tried and I fall down. Nikasema sitaji nijipate.
Yeah.
So I never used to run. So I could just walk. But I used to make sure now I come very early so that I don't fall into house. Because when you have disability, most of the time, by that time, there was no inclusivity.
So they don't understand.
They didn't even
they don't
care.
really care.
I think also because of knowledge, they did not know how to handle you.
Yeah.
I remember there's a day I went to, it was parade.
Yeah.
And my shoes ilikuwa na vumbi. So me I saw people wiping. Najua ile unapanguza na socks.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. Niligongwa. Nikasema,
Surely.
sema pana.
Yeah.
And then there's a day we were on the line and I couldn't stay in the queue for long.
Yeah.
So I had to explain. So my life turned from now being quiet to now explaining and proving. So you have to prove this is iko hivi, naenda chosa fulani, iko like that.
Yeah.
So things changed, and even the shoes that I was wearing changed. So I started using the one that is now you buy directly from the orthopedics.
Yeah.
That was what I was using. Now the caliper, and it comes with another shoe.
Yeah.
So hakuna fashion. Hakuna fashion.
Yeah.
And then I started wearing the longest dresses. So I couldn't wear the way I'm dressing right now.
Yeah.
So I started wearing. So everything changed. And even the way the conscious, when you are playing with others, you have to be extra conscious about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even when we went to school, that's now in secondary, that is now when the discrimination began. When I was using the crutches, kaanza kuitwa kaguru.
Oh.
So there were so many sort of names. And for me to come used to it, the best thing I think the school did for me, they made me a school captain.
Aish.
Sasa utanita kaguru lakini nikupatia speech oral. Yeah. So that one happened when I was in Form 3. But now that one was after now amputation.
Now, we will get to Form 3, Form 4. Take us now the process of amputation. You have been given 3 options. So the amputation is the last, but as you said, according to the doctors, the best.
Yes.
How did you process all those options?
I think I saw it coming, the amputation itself.
Yeah.
Because the way the wounds were appearing, the surgery and all that.
Yeah.
So there's a day I just sat down in class at night during preps time. And I thought of it. I saw myself losing my leg early. But I was crying to God and telling God, she will just wait for me first to sit for my Form 4.
Yeah.
Nikule uchungu kama nimemaliza mtihani.
Yeah.
But when I went home, my elder brother also is like, he saw it also, and the wife. So they had already spoken and they knew. So I was not aware. Yeah. But for me, where I was, I knew I'll lose this kabisa because it was very soft, and the wounds that were coming, it was taking months to heal.
Yeah.
So the wounds that were there, I did not see blood or pus, like a fluid. That is how it was behaving.
Yeah.
I've never known up to now what was the real issue. And then when I came home, I was taken out to Kijabe. They did the assessment, and then now to look for option 2. We went. Now my brother took me to Kikuyu Hospital. In Kikuyu, they gave us the same options, 3 options, but the best one is amputation.
Yeah.
So the doctor that we had there was Dr. Grand, and he was also retiring. So he's the one who did the amputation for me. But I was given 1 week to think and to decide whether I could
want to go ahead with. Yeah.
The most interesting part was my brother. He was saying she was born with the leg, and right now she's going to stay without it.
Yeah. Oh.
So I used to laugh at him. But you have never known I used to laugh at him.
Yeah.
So he's the one who at least felt it more than myself. Though for me, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
It was not easy because this is something you've been having it, and you're going to lose it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you ask how, you never get the answer of how you are going to lose it.
Yeah.
And now, how are you going to stay without the leg itself?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a life-changing, coming into terms, it has been there, and it will never be.
Yeah.
And how am I going to behave now? This is now me without the leg.
Yeah.
Yes. And we did not know about the prosthesis by then.
No.
Yes. So it took me the 1 week one, and then when we went, I just came and told God, whatever happens, happens. It's okay, tutajua as life comes.
Yeah. So how did you prepare yourself for this?
I was already tired.
Life-changing.
I was
Wow.
already tired.
Yeah.
So
exhausting.
when my leg was going to be amputated, I was already tired about going to hospital. Now the hospital being home.
Yeah.
I found myself more in the hospital than at home.
Yeah.
And I found myself more in the hospital than in school. Because I never used to close the closing day with the rest, opening day with the rest. So unamaliza tu mtihani unasikia mama yako ako kwa gate anakuja kukuchukua. So I didn't feel the goodness of tumefunga shule, tunaenda. So that one wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was in school for a few weeks, more in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then you find when you come to school, you also have to perform.
Yeah.
So it took me time to know how to write notes. And you know,
so that you catch up.
Yes.
You've lost a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when the amputation was done, I did not, the whole of second term, I was not in school. And putting in...
That's in Form 2.
Form 2.
Yeah.
The whole of third term, not
Third
second.
term.
Third term, I was not in school.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it feels third term, Form 2.
Form 2.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That one, hata ukiniuliza nitakwambia sina habari.
Yeah.
So from that time, and then now, first term, Form 3, I'm told you cannot go to, unless you pass the CATs, the continuous, by then, you will continue with Form 3. Putting in mind, sijasoma vizuri, Form 2.
Yeah.
I told mwalimu it's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's okay. Nikianguka ni sawa.
Sawa.
But I was scared of Kiswahili again.
Kiswahili again. Yeah.
So Kiswahili, I came and now the subject that we were choosing, I just look at the ones that I had a lot of notes, and I will take me time to understand. I did not choose them.
Yeah.
So I went with the ones that I can be able to have time and sit for them.
Yeah.
Yes. So I did my Kiswahili.
Yeah.
But the teacher was just looking at me like this. I told him, mwalimu na Kiswahili mimi sina.
Yeah.
We ended up being friends with that teacher. So she's the one who used to she took care of me. I never used to come now to Nairobi
Yeah. Okay.
for midterm. I used to go, she was called Mrs. Wambua. I used to go to her place instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after amputation, life changed again. So
you have to learn now how to life without now your leg. Yeah. How did you reconcile yourself with the fact that I've now lost?
I used to fall so many times. I remember when there's dark, tumekaa tu, because before you realize, you say, let me stand. But the time you realize you are standing, uko chini. Because in your mind, you still know you have have your leg, but you don't have it. So by the time it came to stick in my mind, I don't have it.
Yeah.
It took me years. Yes.
Took you years.
Yes. And then also now coming to accept now, I have
that acceptance.
I have disability.
Yeah.
From 2001, when my leg was amputated, I came to accept myself. Now I really am disabled in 2007.
Wow. That's almost, 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then now, immediately when my leg was amputated, I was given the prosthesis. So my brother made sure I had everything. And still, it is Father Tom who was paying for my medication. So they made sure I could fall so many times.
Yeah.
And it was not an easy joke.
No.
And with amputation, there's this thing called pattern pain, very bad one. Inauma ni kama unasikia dunia inaisha.
Yeah.
And then you just want to sleep somewhere and put, hata kama ni ile karatasi ya unga uingize ndani ndio ipunguze hiyo uchungu. But it couldn't. So it's something now you have to learn how to live with it.
Yeah.
And also, I stopped falling maybe. I stopped falling in 2005, 2006. now you could feel now I can stand firm without using the crutches.
Yeah.
Or I think I'm walking and I'm not.
Yeah.
So by that time, it was not easy. Yes, it has not been.
Yeah. Now, how have you been able to overcome all these challenges? Even now, how have you been able now to, because you're now smiling, you're now full of life, listening to you and all. It's not the girl that went through all that, chaos and all that pain. How have you been able to, as we say, take one day at a time?
I think always in life you have to think positive.
Positivity.
Always.
Yeah.
And always your rear guard, the person who keeps you moving.
Yeah.
It's God.
Mm.
And not anybody else. It's God. So it starts, you say, the way people say respect is earned, and it has to start with you.
Yeah.
It's the same as disability. It has to start with you as an individual.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then it will go now to your family, and then the society, and the community, the society, and then the other.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I took it up because I looked at the way my family was, where there was nothing, and mom struggling.
Yeah.
All of us, we have story to tell. And I took now, this is my leg, and this is me. So whether I go through the discrimination, they were there.
Yeah.
Stigma, they were there, and they are still there.
Yeah.
Because one, being a woman, and a woman with disability, it's not as easy as people will think.
No.
Because one, your life, I learned, you have to prove to people. You always prove, I can do this. So when it comes to leadership, they don't look at you as a leader.
No.
They look at your disability. Without looking at, they know you can do it.
Yeah.
So even in school, for you to be given something, they used to say, she cannot do it. So why are you saying I cannot do it?
Yet you have not,
And you're not God. And,
Yeah,
and you have not tried me. Even when,
try me, and then if I fail.
So even in terms of employment, you are looked at, you were disability, not the input that you're going to give in that organization.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to when you're pregnant, I can remember when I was pregnant, I was going to, nani alikupea hiyo, utazaje? Those questions.
Yeah.
Unakaa unajua, am I not a human being?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you just look, and how are you going to give birth? So I think there's something I said ikanipata kwa social media.
Oh.
I told my friend, kwani ni mguu inabeba hiyo mimba?
Exactly.
It is my womb. So they feel like all of you, the part of you has disability, which is not the case. Which is not the case.
Yeah.
Because the way, for me, being an amputee, I think I've done a lot, more than I could have done when I had my both legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I am who I am because God has created me to be that way. And maybe God had planned it. At some point, Jacinta, you're going to be an amputee.
Yeah.
So it is something that I said, this one will not pin me down, but I have to do whatever my purpose in this world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that, your purpose in life. And I love today's topic because we are saying your disability has not and will not define who you are. What are some of the milestones that you can tell us about yourself?
I think for me, I can say one. I've achieved quite a lot. But the best thing I can say, being a mother with disability is the most interesting thing I can ever think of.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I gave birth for the first time, my child up to now, hajawahi niambia, Mom, why are you walking the way you're walking? No. And he's 12 years old. Yes. So he has never asked such questions. No. And I think he's more of a protective than a child I've ever thought of. And also my achievement, one, representing women with disability in the COP27 during the climate change. That one was a plus.
Yeah, yeah.
And also advocating for the rights of persons with disability. that one has really added advantage for me.
Yeah.
Just sitting and speaking to someone, telling them you can be able to do this.
Yeah.
You think beyond your disability. That one is one of the best milestones I can ever say I've achieved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to a parent who is watching us this morning, and they have this child with disability, but they're hiding them. They, you're seeing your son is very protective of you, but how do you ensure that also you are not stigmatizing this child in the guise of protecting them?
For me, I think maybe I can touch on that part of protecting. I let him be a child, just like any other child.
Yeah.
Let the child be
Yeah.
a child. And also, normally, little do we normally discuss about myself. But we normally discuss about just being a mother with disability, and now a child without disability. It's more or less the same.
Yeah.
When now you are a caregiver with a child with disability, it's how you take it. You are the hope and the joy of that child lies with you as a mother. So when you accept the child, you are able to encourage them, and when you love them, they know I have someone who loves me.
Yeah.
Then they can be able to carry on with life. Yes. So it is not like you are exceptional like any other parent. You are not. The only thing you do, you love them the way they are, and then you give them the love that a mother can give to them.
Yeah.
You don't need to close them. Like for me, if my mom could have closed, angenifungia kwa nyumba, singekuwa naongea the way I'm talking.
Really.
And if my mom could have said, Jacinta, you cannot do this, definitely, I think even in terms of leadership, I couldn't have led where I've led, because I've been in leadership since primary nilikata, hiyo ni jokes. And then when I went to secondary, I was told no. And then when I came to my area of work, I've been given responsibilities.
Yeah.
Where my son is, I'm the outgoing Parents Association chairperson. That's why I was saying, I don't, when I'm not leading over 4,000 learners or parents, so that one I don't. So I've been leading the school the farthest, and I think for that time, God has been there.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you cannot do as a person with disability.
Yeah.
There's nothing. But it starts with your mind.
So it's all you limiting yourself.
Yes.
If only you limit yourself.
Yes.
That's the only time you will have a challenge.
You'll have a challenge.
Yeah.
But if you say, I can be able to do this, you can do it.
Yeah.
We have people, we have Christo Lasige in Parliament.
Yes, yes.
We have Tim Wanyuni. We have other women-led organizations with women with disability.
Yeah.
So we can do a lot of things, just being given a chance. Yes. Even the parent starts from you, and then atafuata.
I like that. Not being defined by your disability.
Yun true.
Yeah.
It's only that you cannot be able to do some things the other people are doing.
But you still can do
But still can do
it.
it.
Maybe you take longer than
the rest.
Yeah. Talk to someone who has acquired a disability, due to an accident and a chronic disease. How their life, has shifted. This was how my life was, and then boom, my life has changed. How do they not give up?
I think keep hope moving and always be positive, because what I've come to learn myself, because I acquired disability, it's how you take it as a person. Kuna ile unaitango having your own meeting. You have unajita kamkutano your own meeting, baraza yako wewe mwenyewe, and that time it is only you and God. Yule unasemanga it is God, it is me, you, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit in that meeting, yourself, because there is nobody in this life will come and tell you how this is what to do. So you decide, I want to do this. This is not the end of life.
Yeah.
And you pick it up from there.
Yeah.
And also, you don't be in an environment whereby it's going to disadvantage you.
Yeah.
Don't have that self-pity. Pick it up and run.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to stakeholders, government, especially major stakeholders when it comes to matters inclusivity of people with disability, to ensure that and offer the right support to these people. How can we be able, especially the government, because they are such a big stakeholder.
I think when it comes to issues to do with disability, I can say there's a milestone. What we have in Kenya right now, it's different from what we had some years back.
Yeah.
We are trying, but we need to try more when it comes to disability issues, especially when we need the accessible infrastructure. We need to have inclusive education. We need to have empowerment. We need to give, the government need to give persons with disability leadership, not them to be led. You don't look at the disability factor when it comes to leadership. Let the person lead. And then after, they should be given that chance. And then also, let it not be when you are doing a system whereby when you are doing something for persons with disability, it's for pity. We need to remove that in our mind. We are not to be pitied, but we are there to be guided and to be given chance. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you belong, when we are going all through this process and all, do you belong to any organization, any self-help group that held your hand during this journey and the importance of such?
I think for me, the first time I had a friend who is late now. She's the one who introduced me to disability issues. I've passed through different organizations. I started with Nairobi Family Support Services in Kibera. I think they're the ones who made me to understand more about disability. I've also been a beneficiary of Action Network for the Disabled, Andy. But then the director was Fred Ouko up to now. So I've passed through so many organizations, and I've passed through so many friends. I've also worked with disability organizations. I started with Handicap International as a receptionist and as a receptionist or cashier. But that is where my backbone began, because it was a disability organization. So even the partnered organization, the ODP's organization, by then they used to come there. And I used to see, like now, it's called Harun. He was the CEO of National Council for Persons with Disability. But then he used to work with Nondo. I used to see him coming to the office with wheelchair. So I used to ask myself, why are you working that way? And you are able to give your views and report and fight for the rights of persons with disability. Within the office, there was a guy who was called Paul Mugambi and Martin Okio. They were visually impaired. So they're the ones who really encouraged me to know myself as a person with disability, and also how to fight for my right within the organization as a person with disability. And also they're the ones who made me now to start advocating for the rights of the persons with disability. And right now I work at Disability and Inclusion Advocate. So I've walked through so many friends and also a group of people where you find it is only you persons with disability, especially women, and you get time to talk about your life. I cannot forget to mention there's this lady called Lizzie Kiama. She was the second one now to employ me in our organization to fight for the sexual reproductive health and rights project for women with disability. So I've gone through, I can say it is a step and a process to reach where I am, and also to be able to talk to people openly without fear. And also I can say the women-led organization with disability. You find people call you and they ask, Jacinta, what can I do in regards to this and that and that and that?
Yeah.
So it is something that I can say it has really changed my life in terms of the way I'm growing and the way I'm seeing things, in terms of advocacy. And even at just next to you guys here, YWCA, I was given a chance to be in the board to represent persons with disability in that board.
Right.
And I've gone both nationally and internationally with disability.
Yeah.
I've also gone back to run, but now I'm using a different devices.
All right.
I'm using a prosthesis. And this one it's called the blade. Sijui kama umeona that one.
Okay.
And this one was through now the doctor who made my second, from Kikuyu prosthesis to now Gateway prosthesis. So it's the one who introduced me to the blade. And it's the one who now also, when I was now going to the 11th surgery, he told the doctor, enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Jacinta, such an inspiring story. Indeed, a story of hope. How can we get in touch with you? How can we maybe get in touch with you?
I can share my number.
All right.
Yes. My number is 0723 608796. I also have social media handles, Jacinta Odima.
Okay.
Hiyo tu.
Jacinta Odima.
Ukienda Twitter ni Jacinta Odima.
Okay.
Ukienda Instagram ni Jacinta Odima. Yes. Ukienda Facebook ni Jacinta
Jacinta Odima.
Though I'm not very active these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sawa. Jacinta, thank you.
Asante sana.
You're indeed a story of hope, a story of inspiration. Thank you. Continue soaring.
Asante.
Continue doing exploits for yourself, for the community, and also for God.
Thank you.
I love that indeed you have not been defined by that disability.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so very much.
Thank you for hosting me.
Karibu
as well.
sana. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Karibu. And thank you so very much for tuning in to today's episode, One Day at a Time. Indeed, don't allow anything or anyone else to define who you are. It's all in your mind. Let it begin there. And yes, you will see the many things you are able to do and even to accomplish. Thank you so very much to Jacinta. Thank you to you also for tuning in to today's show. God bless you so very much. On behalf of everyone who has made today's show a success, we wish you a blessed and a fruitful day ahead. My name is George Kishoro. Kwaheri for now.